H2K Infosys provides world-class online IT training, staffing, and software testing solutions to customers worldwide. H2K Infosys, how we are different from our competitors. 100% job-oriented training, hands-on project work, cloud test lab, resume preparation and review, mock interviews, robust syllabus, one-time fee and lifetime access to classes, access to recorded sessions of live classes. H2K Infosys has won the trust of thousands of students worldwide. For a free demo class, visit us at h2kinfosys.com.
Okay, here in this case, I have used a while loop. Here in this case, I'm going to use a enhanced for loop. Okay, now here in this case, I just say object map dot entry set. Okay, I just say again here in this case, I just say I take that entry and I have to cast that particular entry to a map dot entry. Okay, and I just say map entry dot get key dot get value. Okay, now even this object map dot get, there are a lot of other methods also. Okay, so I can even say key set. So this is going to give me a set of keys. All right, so even I can do it in that way. So let me first run this program. So here what did I do? I just got a map here. That's what I created, a map here with only two objects. One is your key with a list of person. One is a key with a list of fruits here. Okay, so I've just taken an iterator, the same iterator I've taken it here. Okay. Okay, so I'm just using the iterator here. I'm not using an iterator here. Instead, I'm using a entry set itself. Okay, so right click, run as Java application. You get the same details out in all the places. Okay, so the only thing is I'm just using a for loop. I'm using a while loop out here. Okay, in the while loop I'm using an iterator. Here I'm directly iterating through the map.entry. All right. Even if I say sysout object map dot get, where is that? Entry set. Okay, so let's see if what will be the output. Right click, run as Java application. Okay, so it is going to give me all the elements which is present in your object map. Okay, one sec, let me see if I can show you any other methods out here. Okay, so there is nothing but again you have got a key set also. So this will give you a list of keys. Okay, so these are the list of keys. So there are different ways you can iterate. You can get this list of keys and you can iterate the complete map. Okay, and you can access it again using your key set. Okay. Any questions out here, folks? We are going to jump on to the sorting mechanism right now. So before that, do you have any questions? Please shoot out the questions right away.
Jairam, where are we printing the values of that class person or fruit?
We are, which exam you're talking about these things? Yeah, we have the value out here, right? If you see on the right, you have the value equals to, now what is the value? Value is nothing but a list of persons, right? If you talk about a particular thing, let us talk about this one in particular. Let me even comment out all these things. Okay, now even let me comment this out and comment all the other things as well. Okay, so I've commented everything. Now only thing is we have a map. Okay, and for that map we have got an iterator, and with the help of that iterator I'm just saying map.key and map.value. Okay, if I run this, right click, run as Java application, what do I get? I get, what is this? My key is nothing but your person list. Value is nothing but your, what is that value? Value is nothing but your person out here. Okay, now what is a person? Person is a list of person object. That's what you have it here. The value is separated by two persons out here. Is that clear?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. See, folks, I mean, it's very important to understand map here because you use map in this order. I mean, you want to, you can see when you talk about a list of person, why do you need to have a map? My main concern is I need a map which can store a key, some key with list of objects. Okay, I can use any kind of thing over here. All right. Now, but here I'm just trying to differentiate. I cannot say that apple. There's no point in saying the key as an apple, value as an apple, right? In that case, I'll definitely go and use my array list. Now, why I'm using a map? Because I need a list of, I need a key. Okay, for this I can hold any kind of object in that, and down the line I can access it. See, this is very important because when we talk about advanced Java courses, in this you will see most of the things you will see only maps. Okay, you get a key and you get a value. All right. Now, accessing the map and adding some data to the map is pretty much easy in this collection. Okay. Now, what do I mean then? Okay. Now, when I talk about a map, as we have already spoken about a collection, when we have spoken about an array list, you know that if you have an array list out here, and let's say already this is filled in by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 100. If I want to add anything in between, I have to shift everything to the right. Okay. Now, if you want to, let's talk about if you want to search something in a list. Let's say you want to search the first index. You can use a for loop out here, right? Because I want to see that what is there in my first index. Now, let's say I've got apple, orange, banana. I've got 1,000 fruits. Okay, I'm not sure whether there are 1,000 fruits. Like name, how do you get? How do you gather the actual value? Okay, there's a question out here. How do you get the actual value? Okay. You can basically loop through this, okay, or there will be APIs even to get that value. Even you can say once you loop it, you can even say get values also. Okay, you can even accumulate these values also. Okay, like name. Adil, can you just elaborate it? Do you want to see something like your key set, value set? Okay, so there are different APIs also which we can use it. You can use values also in order to get those, get the details of all your collections as well. Okay. All right. So what I was saying here is the output is object style. I need the actual value coming out of the list. Yeah, in order to get the actual value from the list, you have to override the toString method of the particular person. You can very well do that, and you can access the, I mean, you can print out the values. All right. Okay. Now, I was talking about, let's say a list, and I've got a list of fruits. This is your apple, this is your banana, this is your orange, right? Now, I want to check whether orange is there or not. So very well, in array list there is a method known as contains, but apart from that I want to basically access this value. Okay, I want to say get off this particular orange. For that reason I have to iterate through each and every index in your array list. Okay, so this is how basically I can check whether a particular value is present or not. If I want to access it, even I can access it in that way. Okay, now what is the how does a map basically behaves? All right, now if you can see here in the map, what you say map dot put a key and a value. Okay, map dot put key and a value. Okay, now directly when you say if I want to access a particular value, I say, what do I say? I just say sys out object map dot get of person list. All right. So I can directly access, I'm trying to access directly the key so that I get the value. Okay. Now what basically happens in your map, right? So let us see what basically happens in your map. It's very important to understand how map behaves, right? Now take this map as a bucket. Okay. In this bucket, you got some spaces out here. Okay. Now what happens is whenever I say object dot put, that is your map dot put a key, what happens internally, your map basically generates a hash code for a particular key. Now what is a hash code? In Java, every object has a particular hash code. Now what does that mean? Now if I say here in this case, where is that? Okay, let me take new example out here. New class hash code. Okay. So I just say hash code equals to new hash code. Okay. I just say sys out code dot hash code. Right click, run as Java application. Now if you can see here, okay, let me do one thing. Code 2. Okay, let me say code 2 out here. Right click, run as Java application. All right. Now, the moment I invoke the hash code on a particular object, I can use any kind of object. I can even use a person out here, but I just use a class by itself here. I just stored hash code equals to new hash code code 2 equal to new hash code. Now every object, okay, it will generate, it has its own hash code. Whenever you invoke your hash code, it is always consistent that it is going to generate the same values. Okay. Now what it is going to have a very high significance in case of your map. Okay. How does your map behaves in this case? Now here in this case, whenever you told map dot put a key and a value pair, what happens? A particular hash code of this particular person list as a name person list. If I say person, so a hash code of a person gets generated. Okay. Now depending on the hash code, what happens? It basically goes to a particular bucket. Let's say the hash code, for example, if I take an example out here, notepad. Okay. Now I say here, let's say A equals to 1, B equals to 2, C equals to 3. Okay. Now let me take a couple of names out here. Let me say a person's name is AAB. Okay, a person's name is AAB. You can take up any name. And the value, let's say I'm going to generate a hash code for this particular class. Let's say internally it generates something like A is 1 plus 1 plus 2. Okay, so this is going to be 4. So the hash code for AAB is 4. Now the hash code of your CBA is equals to 1 plus 2 plus 3. It's equals to 5. Okay, so the 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals to 5. Okay. Now I can even have one more name saying that BAC. Right? No one is stopping me. I can even have, there is a name, person's name whose name is back. Okay. Now if you generate the hash code for this back, it is going to be a 2, 1, 3, right? So 2 plus 1 plus 3, which is equals to 5 again. Okay. Keep this in mind. Now, it doesn't mean that every object has a unique hash code. Every object does not even have a unique hash code. Okay. The hash code can be same. It doesn't mean that when the hash codes are same, the objects are same. Okay. So this is one thing you just need to keep in mind always whenever you talk about whenever you are in the Java world. All right. Now I said person equals to object dot put person of key and a value. So a hash code of this key gets generated, and you add this particular person out here. Okay. Now what happens is, let's say in your map you have got 10,000 objects. Now depending on each object's hash code, it is going to go to a particular bucket. Let's say in this bucket you have got something, 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 something. Here you have got something, something, something. And even at last, even you have got a key as something like Apple. Okay. So as I said, here in this case, if I say,
Jaram, just quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
How are you defining the values for person? Where did you define that in the program?
Values of the person. This is what I have done it. The person list. I've created a list out here, and in that list I have added all the persons. Okay, so this is my person list.
Yeah, but that's fine. But I was referring to that example you went back, right?
Which one?
The example where you defined, A is equal to 1 and B is equal to 2 and vice versa. Here, if you're using the hash map for person, where are you defining these values? I'm sorry, the hash code for person.
Yeah, I just gave you an example out here. Is this Keith or this is this Amit? I didn't get your name, sorry. Okay. All right. No, I'm not defining it anywhere. As I said, internally it is going to generate a hash code for each and every key. Okay, I'm not defining this person anywhere. This is just a string out here. Okay, I can even give my name out here. Okay, so but here I'm just saying it is a key. For this particular key, automatically a hash code gets generated. Okay, I'm not defining any of the hash code for a particular person, because I'm using an object out here, right? So for every object, it has its own hash code. Okay, is that what you wanted? Is that pretty much?
Yeah, that's what okay. So it generates it on its own. You don't define the value.
Right. I do not define the hash code of it. Okay. Here, you just keep this in mind, because we are going to talk about this right now. I just gave you an example that internally it might be generating the hash code depending on some kind of algorithm. Okay. So it has its own algorithm and to generate the hash code of a particular object. Okay. We are not supposed to get into it to understand what is the.
What is the purpose of this hash code then? Why does it generate?
We'll talk about. That's what I'm talking about it right now. Okay. Now, here, as I said, when we talk about a hash code, it generates a unique hash. It generates not a unique hash code. It generates a hash code for person, right? So this particular person gets into, let's say, this hash code 1. Okay. So let us keep this as 5 and. Let us give this as 4 and let us give this as, let's say you have got one more person as AB. So equals to AB equals to 3, right? Now you have got one more name as 3. Okay. So it says that all the hash code, all the object whose hash code is 5 get inside this particular bucket. All the hash code which is of name with the value 4 get into this bucket. All the hash code with the value 3 get into this bucket. Okay. So as you know, CBA and BAC goes to your bucket number, this one out here. Okay, let's say, for example, here in this case, I'm using an Apple person. So the hash code of your Apple and person is 5, so it get into this. Okay, now in this there are 1,000 objects. Okay. With the same hash code. Here there are again 500 objects with the same hash code. Here there are around 300 objects with the same hash code. Okay. Now the concern is what happens basically when I say object map dot get. Right. Now here the main objective of your hash code comes up over here. I mean it's a combination basically. Okay. Now without hash code, working on map would have been a bit difficult. Now when we have created a hash code, as you know, depending on the hash code value, it goes to a particular bucket. Now, the moment you say get, okay, on that map you say get of a person list. Okay, so this is what you have. Let's say copy this and say person. Now when you say object map dot get person, you say get of person, what you already internally what's going to happen is it is going to generate a particular hash code of this person, right? Now when it has generated a hash code of this person, it knows in which particular bucket my person is present, right? So it goes directly, it jumps from here, it jumps directly to the bucket in which you have got the person. It will not go to 4-3. Okay, so this is one significance of my hash code, because the moment I added something, I added with the help of my hash code to a particular bucket. The moment I'm accessing it, I get the hash code and I directly jump into the bucket in which there are multiple objects with the same hash code. Now the concern is, let's say if I say here object map dot get apple. Okay, so when I say apple out here, what happens basically is I know that person is at the bottom of my stack. Okay, I can, let's say the first time when I talk about person, it fetches the information from here, but apple is somewhere in the 1000th place. Okay, so it is somewhere in between my bucket. Okay, how do I get it? Right now I said apple. Let's say apple also has got the hash code as 500. A person also has got the hash code of 500, right? So both of them went to the same bucket. Well and good. Okay, now here comes the use of your equals method. If you remember, every object, okay, has got the equals method, right? Now what happens is, what do we have in hand? We have apple in hand right now. We are concerned about apple to search here. We come here, what internally happens is it goes and checks for each and every object to see whether apple is equals to person. No. Apple is equals to this. No. This. No. At last it finds an apple here. Okay, so when it finds an apple out here, it says, okay, equals method. First of all, it takes the help of your hash code to jump to a particular bucket, and then it takes the help of your equals method to find the actual object which is present in my bucket. Okay, so if you can see, the use of a hash code is to put the value in a particular bucket, and while accessing the value, you access it without any issues. You don't have to traverse or you have to iterate through each and every object or each and every bucket in the hash map. Okay, is that pretty much clear, folks? Okay, there's just a concept, you just need to understand this because it's very useful, because you have to understand at what point of time you need to use a map, and internally this is the functionality of a map out here. And again, in a hash map, if you guys are looking out for an interview perspective, what are the important methods present in your hash map to make sure to get the value of, I mean, how do you search for a particular key in a hash map? You will basically say with the help of your hash code as well as your equal. So hash code first comes into picture and then equal comes into picture. Okay. All right, folks. So yeah.
Jairam, very quick question.
One by one, folks. Ladies first.
Thank you. So in real time, when you talk about the collections, the source of data will be database or a flat file. What is the source for this data to?
The source could be, source could be anything. Okay, I mean, it could be a flat file. Usually, see, whenever you talk about any of the real-time applications, it is always your database. Okay. Now, with the help of your database, you access the database and put all the informations out here. Now, when you talk about advanced Java courses, when we talk about JSPs and servlets, it is not going to be a flat file. It could be some UI related stuff wherein you are giving some information about you. Let's say you want to give information about your name, place, stuff and all. Okay, so all these things I can put it in a list, and those lists I can put it in a map. Okay, so it again depends how you take up your application and what collections you use. It's very important to understand what kind of collections you want to use. Okay,
so in Java, basically they have replaced the regular arrays with array list and all this map and all that. Or do we still use arrays, the regular arrays?
You still use regular arrays when you do some kind of computations. Okay, when you know what is the values, you have some static values, you can still iterate those things. Okay, you still use it. It is not when you use any, if you see all your core implementation, if I open the list class here, sorry, let me open the array list out here. Okay, so still they will be using arrays. See, they are still using arrays internally. You want to do some kind of manipulations internally, all right, you still use arrays. Okay, now if you have, let's say, some static values, you can use the static values in an array so that you can use those values down the line. Okay, so but if you want to have something dynamically, always go with your array list or any kind of collections. Okay, I missed the initial session. I need help setting up the repository. Is it possible to help me with that? Pratima, I have, if you go through the initial videos, you should be able to get those informations. Tomorrow we are going to cover threads. I haven't completed. I just need probably 5 minutes of your time right now. I still have the sorting mechanism right now. Just it's pretty much short. I'll just tell you that. Okay, so just stay tuned, folks.
Jairam, before that, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
It's a quick question. It's about the hash code. You just mentioned that the hash code number could be same, like in the notepad you were mentioning.
Right.
And then the equals method would be invoked to check whether it really matches.
Correct.
And then the output will be given. Am I correct on that one?
Exactly. It's not the output. It is going to fetch that particular object. Okay.
Fetch, right. My question is that what's the purpose of giving the same same hash code number? What's the purpose?
Okay.
It would have been
Tell
as
me.
well.
Okay, if I do not have a hash code, how do I maintain a map out here?
No. Sorry. My question is that hash code is required. I got that. But the same number hash code, what's the purpose of that? It could have been very well different hash codes for different.
Right. If the hash code would have been different, the implementation of a map also would have been different actually. Okay. So in Java, they generate a particular hash code for an object. Okay, it could be it is not unique, but it could be same for different objects also. It is that particular taking that particular implementation or that particular concept, they are using it in the map. Okay.
All right. Okay.
That is the only significance out here when you talk about a map. Okay, it always gives you a particular hash code of a particular object. You can even override this particular hash code also. Okay, no one is telling you to use a default hash code. You can generate your own hash code also. You can, for that reason, you have to override the hash code method. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Do not find that info. Okay. Anyways, let me just get into the another topic here. There was a question out how to sort a particular person. Okay. We have already sorted a particular string by using your tree set and stuff and all. Now let's see how do I sort an object. Now I created a list here. List equals to new array list. I added a person A, person C, person D, person B, person D. Okay, so this is nothing but a person out here. Okay, I want to basically sort this very well. I've got a method in your collections. Okay, this is a collection as a class. Okay, so there is two things. One is a collection interface. This is your collections class. Okay, this is kind of a utility for me. Now here in this case, if I just comment this out right now. Okay, so if I simply say this out and I print list, run as Java application. The way you have added A, C, B, D, the same thing is coming out as an output A, C, B, D. I want to sort this particular stuff. In order to sort, what I can do is I can simply, okay, so uncomment this, right? So as you know, this is not giving me the correct result of your sort. I want to sort this. So I just simply say collections dot sort. My system, okay, of list here. Okay, Now this is my before, this is my after. Right click, run as Java application. Now before it was ACBD, now it is ABCD. Correct? Now how this is happening basically, in order to sort a particular list, what you have to do is that particular person has to implement an interface known as comparable interface. Okay. In that comparable interface, there is a method known as compare to, which is going to take an object, and you basically say return this name dot compare to this name. So this will basically return you a positive or a negative value depending on whether this is greater than this or this is greater than this. Okay. So you are checking this name with the object which you are passing out here. All right. So this you have to override. You don't have to use it anywhere. This is internally being used by your collection framework itself. Okay. When you say collection.sort of list, it basically says what you're trying to sort here. You're trying to sort a person, and it says, okay, there is already a method that is a compare to method, which has already been overridden. And depending on what you want to sort, it sorts in that particular order. Now, if I want to sort with the help of your name, person, profession. Okay, this is my profession, right? So when I want to sort it using my profession, what should I do? It should come something like your army, cook and worker, right? So it should say something like army. Okay, let us see that. So how do I do that? Here I have overridden my compare to with your name. Now let me even comment this and uncomment this one, right? So I'm right now comparing with the help of my, sorry, I have used a place right here. Okay, let us go with the place here. Okay, so here it is Andaman, Mass, Cameron, Bombay. So it should come right now as ABCM. Okay, so I'll run the same application, right click, run as Java application. Now it is ABCM. Okay, now depending on what order you want to sort, you're going to do the manipulation in your compare to. Now usually what happens, tomorrow, let's say today I'm sorting using my place. Tomorrow I want to sort it using my name. Day after tomorrow I want to sort it using my profession. I keep on changing. I mean, my requirement is as such because this is my client program, right? This is my client program. I can write any kind of client program. Today I want to sort it using my name, profession, or whatever it is. No, I cannot go ahead and keep on changing my compare to method each and every time, right? I should not do that, because why should I do that? I mean, it's a program which is given to me by Wipro or Satyam or XYZ company. They do not give me the access to change this particular code, right? So what should I do in that case? In that case, let's say here in this case I am using a name sorter. Okay, so I'm basically sorting using my name, right? Tomorrow I want to use something like place. So what should I am going to do is I'm going to use a different class, nothing but a place sort. Okay, this is a class defined by me. That place sort is going to implement nothing but your comparator. Now if you see here, this is implements your comparable, in which you override the compare to. Here in this case you are going to implement a comparator. So comparator, comparable. Okay, so whenever you talk about comparator, you have to override the compare method. So in this compare method, it is going to take two objects, both the objects. Okay, so again you have to cast that object to the particular type, and you say place dot compare to place to. Okay, again it is going to, depending on which is bigger, it is going to give you the positive or the negative values. All right, so how do I use that? I just go to my client.
Jerome, these two classes.
I'm sorry.
Hi, Jerome.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, these two classes, comparable and comparator.
It's not a class, it is an interface. No, it is an interface.
Yes, sorry, these two interfaces. Comparable and comparator, did you define them?
No, this is from the Java package itself.
From the Java packages, okay. Gotcha.
So this is a comparator, comes from your util package, and your comparable is from your java.lang package. Okay. All right. Now, how do I use this? I just go to my client program. I just go to, once I define my comparator also, right? Depending on what I need, I just use the comparator. Go to my client program out here, and where is my client program? Sorting object. Okay. In that client program, I just simply say list, comma, new, place sorter, Okay, I have it already in the bottom, so let me even remove this. Now when I say place sorter, okay, so I say place sorter, right click, run as Java application. It sorts me using my place. Okay, A, B, C, M. Tomorrow I want to change it using my using my profession sorter. So this is my prof sort. Right click, run as Java application. This is my profession sorter, right? So again, if you see the profession sorter, it is nothing but I'm just comparing it with profession out here. Okay, this is I'm getting the object. So I've got two objects out here. Okay, so I don't use this this particular method internally. The collection framework is going to use this. So when you say collections.sort, it is going to use that particular method to check what to do. All right, so it is very handy whenever you talk about sorting using a particular field. Okay, does that make sense? You showed an example where each bucket has multiple objects with the same hash code, but wouldn't it be more efficient to have a unique hash code for each object? It won't be efficient when you talk about your hash map at all. Okay, because it is again going to be kind of a list, right? In the list you are adding all elements. I mean, it is all again index based. If you want to access a particular object in a list, you have to iterate through each and every element. Okay, if there are around 1 million records, you have to iterate through each and every list. Okay, but here in this map it could be 1 million, but all 1 million are divided accordingly. Let's say here you have got okay, let's say 50,000. Here you have got 40,000, right? Here you have got 30,000. All the 30,000 have got same hash code. You directly jump into the into the 30,000 bucket, and you just try to use your equals method to check the particular object. Okay. All right, folks. If it is pretty much clear, if there are no questions, I think it's already time right now. Most of the guys might be sleeping right now. Okay. Yes, most of the folks are sleeping now.
Jano, I have one quick question.
Yeah.
Can this list, array list, all this are for final interfaces or final classes? Or can we implement, like suppose if I want to have my own collection with the different other methods and all those stuff, implementation, can I implement or inherit the array list or list?
You can see here. Yeah, you can. I mean, this is just a public class out here.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
It's not a final. Okay.
No, it's not a final one. But again, there is no point in doing it. You will not do your own functionality as such. Okay. But you are very much welcome to do that as well.
I see.
All right, folks. I'm going to check in this file. And I would request you guys to practice these examples quickly. Why do we need to have list ABC near a lesson? Okay, Adil, there's a question because you cannot create an object of an interface. So for that reason, you cannot say new of list. Okay, list is an interface for me here. I would request you guys to please practice these examples. The one which I have at least given to you. These are only the concepts wherein you will be using these concepts in the real-time examples. Okay, so I request you guys to please practice this, compile it and run it. I see a couple of questions saying me to give some examples. I would request you first go through these examples, and down the line we'll see the same kind of applications wherein we'll be using these kind of collections. Okay, so in that case you'll be pretty much clear on how to use those things, right? And folks, please, if you have the feedback form, I request you guys to please send me the feedbacks as well. If not, let me give you those. Give me a sec. I see you guys are pretty much lazy in giving the feedbacks. So there are around 17 folks, 15 folks. Oh, 2 are already left. That's good. Okay, I'll just send you right away. Just stay tuned, folks. And the guys who have already got the feedback, who has the feedback link, you can drop off. The guys who do not have them, please stay back. I'm just going to send them to you. got it now. Okay guys, I've just given the feedback form. Please put on your feedbacks. I'm going to check in the files right now. Thank you. Is the feedback to be sent every... You can do that, Madhu. There is no restrictions. You can put on some comments. You can send it on a daily basis if you want. Otherwise, I would request you can give it every 2 days or 3 days, or at least twice or thrice a week. Okay.
H2K Infosys provides world-class online IT training, staffing, and software testing solutions to customers worldwide. H2K Infosys, how we are different from our competitors. 100% job-oriented training, hands-on project work, cloud test lab, resume preparation and review, mock interviews, robust syllabus, one-time fee and lifetime access to classes, access to recorded sessions of live classes. H2K Infosys has won the trust of thousands of students worldwide. For a free demo class, visit us at h2kinfosys.com.